Well, thank you very much for sitting down with us today, Ken.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Well, it's an honor to meet a shuttle astronaut and someone who's had such a cool career with NASA. But what I wanted to know was, at what point did you leave NASA and start working for ATK?
I was with NASA from '92 until 2006. So I think it was actually October of 2006 when I went to ATK, and I've been working ever since.
So have you started off always as the program manager for Liberty, or?
No. Initially when I went to ATK, I was the Vice President for Advanced Systems. And from there, evolved into Vice President for Technical Research Ops. And then now I'm a Vice President as well in Business Development and the Program Manager on Liberty. So that happened about a year and a half ago.
Well, can you tell me a little bit more about the process of how you guys started collaborating with EADS Astrium to provide the first stage of the Ariane 5 as the upper stage of Liberty?
It's a pretty fascinating story, and we have a five-segment solid that we developed for Ares 1. When it was canceled, we started looking around for a good match for a second stage. And the reality of it is, we had a hard time finding a second stage that matched up well. And we never did, because there just aren't second stages that exist that are already designed for the 3.6 million pound thrust first stage we had. So what we did find, though, was a first stage, the core stage of the Ariane 5. I worked for Charlie Precourt, similar background at NASA, and he actually had started talking with the European Space Agency. He socialized the idea with them initially, saying, you know, we think, well, actually we did some research. I think what we came up with was, hey, the core stage of the Ariane 5 would work really well for us. As luck would turn out, it's within 3 inches of diameter of the Boeing upper stage that was originally designed for Ares 1. It's within 12 feet the length. The thrust of the two engines are within about 8,000 pounds. I think for 304 it was 296. So it all just really worked out to be almost a point design for what we needed. Started talking to the European Space Agency. They said, hey, this is a great idea, go for it. And so then we engaged Arianespace, who launches Ariane 5. And then from there, got pointed to Astrium. And Astrium said, hey, absolutely. And so we began working with those guys a couple of years ago. And it's been, the relationship is just getting better and better and better.
So after Ares 1 was canceled and you guys started the plans for Liberty, at what point was it that the decision was made to use the composite vehicle of the Orion test vehicle as your guys' capsule?
So yeah, that decision came about, looks like about 8 months ago, I guess, as I pull it. And again, we competed for CC-Dev 2, and the feedback we got from NASA was that the technical team loved the rocket. So we got rated, as a matter of fact, the highest marks out of any launch vehicle. But one of their critiques was, hey, you don't have a capsule. Who's going to ride on top? And we said, good point. So we actually, that wasn't part of the CC-Dev 2, but then we did. We started looking, and the fact is, Liberty lifts so much, 44,000 pounds. We could lift any of the commercial capsules out there, because some of them are close to half that weight. So as we started looking around, it became apparent that to really, again, match up well with the vehicle, an Orion-sized capsule really worked well for us. Back in 2007, we were part of an industry team working with NASA Langley on a composite alternative to the aluminum lithium pressure cell on Orion.
Which at the time they were calling the Orion Light.
That's right. And so, as a matter of fact, so we built the composite structural test article in our Mississippi facility in 2009. And as a matter of fact, just last month, it was in a vacuum chamber in Marshall undergoing permeability testing. So it's still going through all these tests. It's been fun to watch it. When they came up with this idea, NASA and Lockheed both, the Orion program, they had a pretty long list of areas of concerns, if not issues. NASA, Langley, and the industry team have just been marching through every one of those and mitigated put everyone. And so, we just smile because composites are our core competency. Your strength to weight ratio is superior to any metal at this point. So it just makes sense. So I guess for about 8 months now.